You know, they say that the most important decision that we make in life is who we decide to marry. And while I agree with that, I think that there's a more important decision that we are making on a daily basis. And it's not just one decision. And the decision is how we were responding to our life circumstances. There's a really good quote that I like. I forget who said it, but they said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. And it points to the immense power that we have as human beings to respond to our circumstances and the way that we are experiencing something, our mindset, where we direct our energy. I think it's one of the best parts about being human. It's the ability to change our circumstances as we desire, as we see fit. And yet, a lot of times, I think many of us fall victim to our circumstances. We see life as happening to us. We see ourselves as being helpless and hopeless. And while, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things that happen in life that are outside of our control. What always is within our control is the way that we are looking at that, our perspective. Again, it's the 90% of that 100% equation of life, the 10% of our circumstances and the 90% of how we respond to it. And I think that a lot of times, I know this has been true in my life in the past, different times when I've been dissatisfied with some aspect of my life, whether it is career based, relationship based, fitness, whatever it is. And I've allowed that disappointment to keep me stuck and hold me back. And I've wallowed in it, and I've let that frustration kind of just keep me down like an anchor. Um, Whereas the way I look at it now is this disappointment or this frustration or this anger, whatever it is energy. And I can use that energy and channel it into something else, into something that can help me build the life that I want or the version of myself that I want to become. And again, this is go for any aspect of my life that I'm dissatisfied with or something that I want to change. Because like I said, and like that quote points to, we do have the power to change. Maybe things don't change right away. And maybe it's not even changing the things that you can't control outside of you, but maybe it's just changing your mindset and the way that you're perceiving it. Because I don't know, I've noticed in my life, and maybe you've noticed in yours, it's the way that we perceive things that oftentimes dictates our internal state and the way that we feel about our life and our circumstances and everything else. And then it's the way that we feel that determines kind of what we do next. Do we stay in the same place? Do we stay stagnant? Do we, again, wallow in that disappointment? Do we pity ourselves? Or do we say, okay, I've got right now, I've got today. What can I do? What small step can I take towards moving in the direction that I want to move in? Towards building the version of myself that I would be most happy with or most proud of or whatever. And like I said, I think it's one of the most empowering things about being human is being able to take life into your own hands and change the way that you look at things, change where you are directing your energy. Because another quote that I like is, where attention goes, energy flows. So wherever you put your attention, whatever you focus on, that's going to expand. And if you focus on what you can't control, you're going to feel worse. You're going to stay exactly where you are. And then that's where I've noticed in my life where I've felt like a victim to my circumstances. But I quickly learned that that is just a mentality. It's just a mindset. And we have 100% control over our mindset, over what we are focusing on, over how we perceive the events that are happening, and as to what we're going to do next with that. So if you're feeling dissatisfied in your life, you're feeling stuck, something happened that blindsided you or whatever, just know that lovingly, you have the power to change things, whether it's as simple as your mindset. And simple doesn't mean easy, but sometimes a mindset shift is all you need to feel a little bit better. And feeling a little bit better allows you to see different opportunities, different ways that you can start to act differently, make different decisions that can start to actually make tangible changes in your life. But as long as we kind of, again, wallow in that self-pity of, man, this sucks, and I'm, I hate this circumstance and whatever else, it's okay to not like your circumstances. Believe me, I've had some shitty things come my way as well. But again, it's our responsibility to make a choice. And the choice that we have is either to wallow in that, beat ourselves up, get upset with life, God, or whatever else, whoever else, or we can say, okay, what can I do with this? How can I pivot here and maybe make the best out of this situation, or again, change my outlook on it, or see the silver lining, or ask how this is actually working out for me instead of against me or to me. And it's one of the most empowering things that we can do for ourselves in life, because it is, I believe, the most important decision that we're making on a daily basis. Now, again, who you decide to marry, very important, very influential person in your life. Who you are on the inside and how you choose to relate to life, your relationship with yourself and your relationship to what is happening outside of you, is arguably more important than who you decide to marry, because you will be the only constant in your life. For as long as you're here on this planet, as long as you're living, you are going to be the only constant. Your parents will come and go, your siblings, even your spouse. So ask yourself, how can you take control of your life if there is some aspect of your life that you aren't satisfied with? And again, lovingly, not in a self-hate or, anger type of way, an inner drill sergeant kind of way, getting after yourself, but just in a empowering mindset shift of, how is this working out for me? How can I make the best out of this situation in my mindset? What small action step can I take right now that can lead me in the direction that I want to go? And from there, life begins to open up, because you are no longer a victim to your circumstances. And you're showing life that. You're showing God that. And then in communicating that energetically or internally, and who you are, how you're showing up to the universe or God, they start to communicate back with you in a way of opening up doors for you, showing you a clear path of what direction to go in. And you see a clearing rather than just a lack of clarity, I guess. So I hope this video helps. Remember, the most important decision you're making is a decision you make every day, and it's the way that you are viewing your circumstances, viewing your life. And we all have these two choices: to see life as happening to us, for us, or how we can really take life by the horns, if you will, take the bull by the horns and create the life that we want to live. So, hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.